Hi and welcome to another TEMA Talk, the fast-paced, no BS free zone with fun, smart and educational conversations with entrepreneurs and business owners, sharing their stories and insights designed to help you become better. Today we're going to have a little bit of fun. You're probably asking yourself, that's not his normal backdrop, he doesn't normally look like that. Well, actually, don't tell anybody, but I'm at the studios of Guerilla Media, and we thought we'd have a little bit of fun. We'd come down here and talk to all the guys at Guerilla Media, find out what it is they do, and also play around and give you a look around to see what's going on. So joining me on the other end of two pieces of string, and now I've got three tin cans, is Hope Daley and Matthew Dykes. Welcome, guys.
Thanks for having us.
It's my pleasure. Now, look, before we get into what you're all about and all the exciting stuff you've got going on, give everybody the quick 10,000 foot view of Guerilla Media, what you guys do, how you do it, and what you're all about. And like, start from the beginning. How did you get into it? Why? All that stuff.
Hope?
Well, Matt and I actually have a background in television and radio, and we did that for a long time. And when everything crashed in 2008, 2010, right in there, that's when we decided that we should start our own media company, which sounds ludicrous, but it was something we'd always done for everyone else, and we figured we would be better off doing it for ourselves. And we were lucky enough to know you, Mr. Gibbons, who helped us through the process. And so we were able to take our skills and expertise and put them to use for the local business and nonprofit community.
Okay. And what's the journey been like? I mean, that seems like forever ago, right? So where are you today compared to where you started out? Has the business model changed? Has the way you do things changed? I mean, we're now down in your studio. You're talking to me from up in your office. Matt's in the little room that we keep him locked away in so he doesn't get into any trouble. And when he does all his mixing and recording and stuff and editing. So he's in the editing suite. Now, I know you didn't have all of that when you first started out, right?
No, we started out like a lot of mom and pops. Most of them, we didn't even have a garage. So it was in our spare bedroom. We started out, we took our last few $1,000s and took a risk on ourselves. And it paid off. This is our 11th year in business. We've made a substantial amount of inroads with different corporations, a lot of recognizable brands, and we've taken care of business and really grown the company, and to the point where you're in our 1,500 square foot studio. It's a private studio that we have here. It has a green screen in it. We're capable of doing a live studio audience record with up to 6 cameras. And we've grown. But to your point, to your question, what's the road been like? A roller coaster ride would be putting it mildly. It has been the most amazing. It's been an amazing ride with the deepest of valleys and the highest of highs.
Right. What was the point where you knew you'd gone from being, this is an idea, this is what we want to do, now we know we've got a business? It's starting to get real now. What was that pivotal point? What was that one moment?
That's a good question.
I was just going to say that's a good question. Goodness. I mean, we started out of the gate knowing that if we were going to do it, we had to be 100% committed. We had to model exactly what we were telling other people they needed to do. So we got real very quickly. We were debt-free until after Irma, when we lost everything and got robbed. Now it feels like it's gotten really real because we actually have a decent monthly nut to cover that just keeps the business running. And over the years, we've had to pivot and adjust our business model numerous times based on social media, based on people doing their own videos, based on improvement in equipment and quality from our end. Things have just gone light years from where they were when we were in television, still pushing the big old beta tapes of everything.
Well, and, to your point of what was the turning point, how did we know we had a business? 3 months into the business, we got a phone call from Sony Medical, and they hired us right out of the gate. loved the quality of things that we could do. And yeah, that was one of our first big clients. And Hope and I looked at each other. You know, we honestly thought that this was a joke. We thought someone was playing a joke on us, but it actually was Sony. And it was like, why are you hiring us? I know you have people on staff that do this, but it was because of our location. We are in Paradise, and there's a lot of one percenters here that run corporations or own companies. And so they like to stay in Paradise when they record. And so that's, you know, what we did is we utilized that, our location to our betterment of the company.
So let's go back to a comment that Hope made a little bit earlier. The whole world now has a phone, right? We've all got the phone. The whole world is a newscaster. The whole world is a reporter. We've only got to look at on any internet platform that you want, and people are producing little videos, and some of them, let's face it, I mean, they're really good. I mean, people can get really creative now. We can download editing suites to our phone, and we can add music and graphics and all that kind of stuff. How does that affect what you do and what you're all about? Where's the intersection?
It's fine. Years ago, we realized that people were always going to want to do some things themselves. And we would rather empower people to do that and do that well than discourage them from doing that, because the more people embrace video, the better it is for my business in general. So we did a how-to series for people to learn to have the camera not go up their nose, to play with your lighting, to get everything right. And we went around and we're asked to do a lot of presentations about that to help people. And it's the same as, I guess, when we started, what we were telling other businesses now also really applies to us, is never be afraid to lift the curtain. Just because I can see how exactly you do something, in no means, way, shape, or form does that mean that I want to do it or I have the skill set and it's not going to take me 7 times as long, and my time could be better used on my business for what I'm really good at. So that's really, really led to putting us as experts, because we can advise, we can take things to that next level. Yes, you can do it on your phone. You can't put it on broadcast TV from your phone. And so that's really the quality issue, the high-end graphics, the things that have taken us 20-something years to master is why people still come to us.
Right.
And it just means everybody gets it. If somebody's using their phone for video, if somebody's in their car doing a video interview, that's great, because that means they get it. They understand that video is the medium to get your message out there. And so all that does is that helps push our business forward, and it causes us to look at how we can innovate and all the other things that we can do to help our clients now and in the future.
All right. So you mentioned broadcast quality in TV. I know that you're working on a new television program concept. Would you like to share a little bit about that, or is it still, don't say anything?
Well, cat's out of the bag. Matt, do you want to do this?
Yeah, I'll take this one. Yeah, it is now very widely publicized, and we are off and running. We've already got one episode that we've already started with the scripting and storyboarding, and we will be filming as soon as they let us out of the house. We're going to be filming our first episode. We have
quite some time for you, Matt, right? You do know it will be quite some time for you.
I didn't hear that. I apologize.
You know that could be quite some time before they let you out, particularly.
Yeah, well, and that's advisable. So, but yeah, we're going to be, we've already started with the first episode. The second episode will start once we get through this. We'll finalize that one. And then we have three other episodes that we're in talks for right now. We only are doing 12 episodes for the first season. So, so we are, we've already got 10, we're down to 10 spots, but we have another 3 spots that may be taken. So, what we're doing with this, it's called Everyday Superheroes. And we are highlighting the people out there that are making a difference, that stories don't get told. We are creating a platform for nonprofits and the people that they serve, and the stories that no one ever gets to hear, and they're positive stories. They're about perseverance. They're about overcoming. And the one thing that we noticed in the marketplace is there is not a platform for nonprofits to tell these stories. So we're creating it. Not only are we going to be doing the TV show called Everyday Superheroes, and it's going to air on ABC7 and bounce over to NBC2 as well. But we're also starting a weekly podcast where we're going to interview our corporate partners and the charities that they support, because cause marketing is the marketing of the future. You're going to be telling a story, and your consumers are looking to see what you do to give back to your community.
The coronavirus pandemic, that must have created a huge vacuum for not-for-profits, for charities. How are they coping? How are they going to get the other side of this?
Yeah, that's a great question. Hope.
Yeah, it's challenging for a lot of them, especially think about our location and how everyone down here is seasonal. And this hit right in the middle of season when everyone had their one big annual event planned, which was their big fundraiser. So we're hoping that the show and the podcast will now really help them overcome the new challenges that have come their way, because it gives them the ability to not only reach local market, they can reach national on Apple TV and Roku, and YouTube will make them accessible internationally. And then working with Waterman on a digital campaign will help push it out socially as well. So we're really hoping that maybe, the funds that they had set aside for the venue, for their big event, and for their food and all of the AV costs that go into that easily can be shifted by a sponsor over to then creating a half-hour episode for the nonprofit, and it gets to showcase their business with something that they cannot even buy airtime for. They get a 5-minute segment in the actual show.
Right. Doesn't this also give them an opportunity to have an exposure to a much larger market? Because presumably it will be on their website, be on your website, be on their sponsors' websites, all those sort of things, as well as being aired. So if they have a local focus, all of a sudden now they've got, in essence, a global focus, right?
They do. And, if you look at it this way, imagine taking a big event, a one-time-a-year big event that nonprofits do, and which supports them throughout most of the year. Well, and you have those sponsors. Well, what if you took that event and televised that event and told the whole story of the nonprofit with the people that they serve and the causes that they meet, and then broadcast it all over the globe, and then uploaded it so it could be viewed by every person every day, anytime they're ready to, when they're going to research, which typically happens in August and September, of who they're going to support throughout the holidays. And so this is a big event that can happen every single day with a call to action, with showcasing their need, and also at the same time having the corporate partner be able to say who they are, what they do, why this charity is so important to them, and really show how they're helping in the community and what they're doing for this charity. And I think that's the biggest part that gets missed is, people want to see where their dollars are going. People want to see what the nonprofits are doing with the funds that they bring in. This is an opportunity to do that. And then also people want to see how these corporate partners, it's one thing to put a brand down here, but it's another thing for the corporate partner to be out there in the streets, showing how they're supporting this, showing how their employees are getting behind it, and giving them that sense of, being a part of a big cause that has a give back.
Now, it's no secret that the pandemic literally brought everything, if not to a complete grinding halt, but it certainly put a great big slow down to 5 mile an hour signpost out there for everybody. What are you guys doing to keep the momentum of all the stuff that you did pre the pandemic to maintain the momentum so it's ready to go post-pandemic?
And that's where we're going to start doing a video podcast of Everyday Superheroes, where we can all still stay with the CDC guidelines and stay socially distanced and be in your own space, but we can have the business that supports the nonprofit and the nonprofit on, and we can have an open dialogue about the conversation and still get exposure for these people right now, still get their worthy causes out there, get people now have more time to actually consume that stuff. So it's a really fantastic opportunity for nonprofits to get attention, to garner attention, and to do it in a creative, different way. And then we're still building the awareness and the ramp up and everything towards when we can start filming the actual show.
And we're, you know, you see this closet here. I do live in this closet, so we do a lot of work at distance. So I do a lot of editing and post-production here. So our business is still kept going. And, you know, we're able to, we have a state-of-the-art cleaning crew that comes by and cleans the studio. We can keep with it. They have one entrance that they come in. We can keep it sanitized. We all stay 6 feet apart. We also have mics that are boom mics so that people aren't wearing them. So you're not going to get any kind of cross-contamination. So we've taken that into account as well.
So, and that's all good news. What's Guerilla Media been doing to pivot your business based on the events of 2020?
It's really kind of interesting how this has shifted for us in the fact that we know our background. Not everybody does, that we come from national TV and all the crazy broadcasts. And we were part of the first over-the-top platform multi-channel provider in the United States. If you know us, maybe you know it, maybe you don't. But what that's really done is given us a really unique skill set where we've had churches and gurus and trainers and other people say, you know what, it's time. We realize now, because we've been forced to realize, that we have to get outside of the four walls. How do we do that? How do we still connect with people? How do we build a brand? How do we generate income? How do we get funds in to support all the things that we need to do? And we actually can help someone build out an entire content platform, get them on Apple TV, Roku, Amazon Fire, apps built out for Androids and iPhones. You can do subscription on-demand content. You can do pay-per-view. You can do all of that. We have the experience to help you do that, plus create the content if you need it.
I get that, but that didn't really answer my question. That's what you can do for other people. What I'm asking, my question was, what Guerilla Media done? How has it affected you guys, and how have you pivoted? What changes have you made?
Matt?
Matt?
Go ahead. Sorry.
Did you want to have a run at that one?
Yeah, I mean, we have changed. I mean, one, we just spoke a little bit about, you know, the precautions that we've had to take, but we had to step back and look at the business model. One thing that we realized is that people are using video to communicate. If people didn't think that video was important before, they most certainly know it's important now. And so, you know, the platform is one thing that we were talking about doing, but it's very important for us to build a model that will help people continue to stay connected if a scenario like this happens again, and it helps them monetize it. And so that's where a full video platform comes in, a training video platform, so that clients out there can still touch our clients can still touch their consumers so that they can train them, so that they can have a subscription-based model, so that people can access their training. So if there's a business coach out there that needs to spend time with his clients, he can have a training and have his top 10 trainings for no-touch sales, just like Victor Antonio, and they can go and they can click on it, view that, and it's on a subscription model. But it also will allow them to stream and to connect.
Right. So has recent events attracted a different client for you?
It has. We actually were on a call Tuesday, I believe it was, with a pastor out of France. He said, we can't meet. And we have to figure out how we're going to communicate with our congregation. And churches, giving was down in churches 90% across the board over the last several years. So churches are looking for another way to support what they do and to stay connected with one another. And so we talked about that. And it's not just talking about a guy that can go up from behind the pulpit and talking head. These are opportunities for them to be out and about, and really showcase what they do and how they're doing practical application with what they teach people. But also at the same time, there's a streaming portion of that so that people can, we need to be proactive and allow him to get his congregation set up, signed up, so that they can, if they can make it into church, great. If they can't, they can still see him, they can still watch him, and they have a place where they can give.
Right.
And so that was one of the challenges that they were trying to overcome, and they wanted to know how to future-proof their business, because no matter how you look at your nonprofit, it's a business.
Or your business.
A church is a business. A business is a business. You have to run all of those as a business, and there has to be revenue coming in to keep the lights on, regardless of how that comes in and what you call it. Whether you call it tithe, whether you call it sales, whether you call it revenue, it's all the bottom line, and it supports your business.
I hear you. I hear you. So we're coming into the last portion of the show, and I always like to fire some quick questions at my guests and see where it goes. We're going to find out a little bit about you, what makes you tick, what makes you happy, what makes you sad, what makes you agitated. So I'm going to fire some quick questions at you. Hope, best piece of business advice you were ever given?
Quit and get rich.
Okay, good answer. Matt, biggest screw up, biggest misstep, biggest mistake you've made in business so far?
Was trying to serve two masters and have one foot in the regular working world and the other foot in the entrepreneur world. I should have just went for it when I knew to go for it, and don't do anything subtle. If you feel like you've got something, you've got secret sauce, go after it, full tilt, put all your effort and all your energy in there. We would have been to where we are a lot faster if I'd have done that.
Right. Hope, how do you get through the feelings of self-doubt, or when that little guy's sitting on your shoulder saying, Hope, don't do this, Hope, this is no good? And we all have it, right? How do you get through that? How do you get past that?
It helps to have a business partner and my husband who is extraordinarily the opposite of me. So we tend to have those on different days. So on a day where I'm feeling encouraged and keeping the faith, he's down in the dumps and ready to call it quits. And I'll tell you, it's probably once a week. But what we have to do is I tend to look back and go, okay, I've had crappy days before. I've gotten through those. My track record of getting up and getting through it's 100%. I got to keep going.
Right. Matt, people watching this who are thinking of starting their own business, because they're born every day, right? Guys and girls that want to go it alone. Give them a piece of advice. What should they focus on? First of all, what should they focus on initially?
Well, the most important thing is identify what it is that you're going to offer the marketplace. And nail it down and only do those things, because too often as a CEO, chief everything officer, from cleaning toilets to making sales, you really have to hone in on what it is that you're going to do and how you're going to grow your business and what your jobs are going to be. And in doing so, you need to quit, like you said, quit doing the things that you're not the pro at. If you want people to hire you to be the pro at what you do, then you need to hire other people. We don't do our own taxes. Well, know why? Because I don't want to get audited. So I hire a CPA to do that. That's the most important advice that I could give, is to do what you do best, prioritize exactly and nail down what your job is, and then quit doing all the things that'll save you money, because in the long run, it's going to cost you money.
Hope, what word or phrase do you most overuse?
Awesome. And I know you hate that word, but I get excited about things, and that's just, for me, it's a word. It's just a word.
Matt, what's your most marked characteristic?
I don't, that's a good question. What type of characteristic?
What's your most marked characteristic? What's the one thing everybody will remember or say about Matt?
Oh gosh, I hope it's that he's just got a big old heart and will give you the shirt off his back. But probably he's just a big goofball that likes to have fun. I don't know. Is that a good answer?
He does have his own song,
I do have my own theme music. So yeah, I'm a little nutty, but I like to have fun. Hopefully they'll just be like, it was always a joy to be around him and he's a sweetheart. I don't know.
Okay. Hope. Does Hope want to be in charge or does she want to be in control?
Ooh, both. I want to rule the world. Come on.
Matt, same.
Always the right way.
I personally, neither. So Hope can have both. I don't want to be in control or in charge. I just want opportunity. I just need give me the opportunity. I'll take charge and make things happen.
All right. Hope, if you could have any other talent, what would it be?
Probably singing and not being shy. How's that? Because I can sing, but I won't do it in front of people.
Matt, same question.
Wow. Man, any talent that I would want? See, man, you're just making me think. I would really enjoy just being able to do everything. So, I mean, I love doing art. I love doing music. I would love to spend time. I don't know.
I'm going to give you a little hint about Matt. Look behind him. He wishes he could play guitar like a rock star.
I do. I want to be a much better musician and want to take more time to play and sing. Yeah.
Okay. Hope, which living person do you most admire?
Oh, goodness gracious. Living, huh? That's the tough one. I would say probably my mom. She was the hardest worker I ever saw. She raised me by herself, never went without. Great example, instilled a great work ethic in me, and taught me to be compassionate and have good morals.
Okay. What about you, Matt?
Same answer. My mom.
All right.
Yeah, she was, yeah, she's awesome. I know you don't like that word.
What trait do you most deplore in yourself, Matt?
Say again?
What trait do you most deplore in yourself? What is it?
I have ADD. So it's tough to stay focused. So if I could just focus more, it would put me in such a better place, because when I go to read a page of a book, I have to start and stop about 8 times before I can get through a paragraph, because by the time before I get to the end of the first sentence, I've already thought of 6 other things, and then I have to go reread it. So I deplore being ADD.
Hope, what trait do you deplore in others?
Ooh, laziness.
I was gonna say ADD.
It only feels like that sometimes.
Keep you in separate rooms, right?
Exactly.
You haven't worked that out yet, Matt. All right. Okay.
Not yet.
What do you consider to be the most overrated virtue, Matt?
Overrated virtue, patience. Patience is overrated because I don't have any of it. So I say, don't be patient. Go after, find what it is that you want, go after it, make it happen, and then you can be all the patient. You can be all the patient you want to be after you're done and you've achieved it.
What about you, Hope?
Do you feed me the question one more time?
What do you consider the most overrated virtue?
Can I reframe it a little and tell you like my biggest Achilles heel as far as virtues go?
Go on then.
I am painfully honest, and sometimes in business, it bites you right in the butt. You know, I'm all about being above board and being honest, but sometimes I don't know when to keep my mouth shut for my own good.
Right. Do you have a mantra or a motto that you live with or live by?
Do unto others, golden rule. You know, we're 800 pounds of heart. We really, our 2020 mantra is leave the world better than we found it, which is what we've been working on doing pretty much our whole lives.
What about you, Matt?
It's the same. You know, we want to leave the world a better place. And the only way to make that happen is, if it's going to be, it's up to me. It's every day putting yourself in check and going, all right, what have I done today to make that happen?
Okay. So same question now for the both of you, and it's the last one. Are you ready?
Certainly.
Matt, you can go first.
Oh, great.
if this episode can connect you with any person in the world, king, queen, dictator, potentate, whatever it is, whoever, sportsman, rock star, whatever, if they can connect you with one, who would it be? Who would you want? Seeing this is going to say, get Matt Dykes on the phone for me.
Richard Branson.
Richard, give him a call.
Richard Branson, please call me.
I'll tell you what to call him, Rich, when we speak. Give him a call. Hope, what about you?
Oh my goodness. Maybe the head of Goodwill charities across the world, because their whole purpose for existing is funding nonprofits and making the world a better place and helping others.
All right. Call Hope. Call Hope. So I've said call and call. So if somebody wants to get hold of you, Matt, how do they do that? How can they get hold of Guerilla Media?
Well, the best way to get a hold of us is to go to guerillamedia.tv. And then, of course, you can email us at info@guerillamedia.tv, or you can call us at 239-450-5357. You can go to everydaysuperheroes.com. It's everydaysuperheroestv.com. Or you can go to thegreatergoodentertainment.com. But the best way.
Give them that phone number again, but not at the speed of sound. So,
sorry. It's 239-450-5357.
That's great. That's great. Okay, that's it, everybody. 30 minutes of business banter and badinage have just flown by. I want to thank the team at Guerilla Media, Hope and Matt, not only for being our guests, but for making this bit of fun happen and making all this wizardry take place. It's way above my pay grade, but I just love being a part of it. I want to thank you guys for watching and listening, and don't forget, please visit TEMA's video vault of wisdom at thirdeyemanagement.com, where we'll share all the other TEMA talks with you, with episodes and strategies and tactics on how you can build and grow your business. So until the next time, I want you to stay safe, I want you to stay happy, I want you to stay in touch, but most of all, I want you to stay profitable. So see you next time. Take care.